Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala amma ba'du. We are back with the 18th ayat from Surah al-Fajr, which is a continuation from yesterday where Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Alhamdulillah, where Allah Azza wa Jalla said, Kalla bal la tukrimun al-yatim, rather you do not honor the orphan, wala tahadduna ala ta'am al-miskin. Wala tahaduna. Wa, as we always say, is a means and the la here is a negation, making the sentence after it negative. Tahaduna coming from ha dad, meaning to incite someone, to encourage someone, to goad or to prod someone. Wala tahaduna. Tahaduna meaning you encourage, you incite. Wala tahaduna, you do not encourage or incite. Ala ta'am al-miskin, in feeding the poor. Or here, when it comes to the tafsir or the grammar, then it might be become a little clearer. Tahaduna ala, to encourage or to incite upon. Ta'am al-miskin, ta'am, the food of the poor. Ta'am al-miskin, the food of the poor. But ta'am here has the meaning of it'am, feeding. It has the meaning of it'am. Ala it'am al-ta'am al-miskin, on feeding the poor people food, like this. Wala tahaduna, as we said from dad, ala ta'am al-miskin, and you do not encourage or incite one another to the feeding of the poor. Or if we do a more literal translation, upon the poor, upon the food of the miskin, on the food of the poor. But as we said, the word ta'am here has the meaning of it'am, but there is a important point here related to the tafsir, inshallah, that we'll get to. Bi'idnillah. As for the grammar of the ayah, then Allah Azza wa Jalla says, wa, and this is harfu atf, and the la is the la an-nafiya. Tahaduna. Tahaduna. And this is originally tatahaduna, because this is form 6. This is originally let me get my pen different. I apologize. 1 second. Here's my pen. Originally tatahaduna. 2 ties. But it was the first tie was dropped due to the dislike of them being together and to make it lighter in the Arabic language. And this is something that the Arabs did and still do, that they make things lighter for the tongue. When we say things to be more easy or more or to be difficult, maybe for us non-Arabs, then there's lots of things that are difficult. But when we're talking about to make things difficult, takhfif here, to make things lighter, we're talking about what the Arabs do according to their understanding and what they did. Anyway, tahaduna is, we said, form 6. And it is a fil mudari, a present tense verb. Mabni, marfu, not mabni, marfu ala thubut an-nun. It's marfu, and the sign of it being marfu is the noon being there, and the wow before the noon is the fa'il, marfu. Ala is harfu jar. Ta'ami is ismu majrur. and miskeen is mudaf ilay majroor. As for the tafsir, then it's a pretty basic tafsir, although there is a point that is mentioned due to how Allah Azza wa Jal said this, which is interesting. First off, we know that yesterday we took the ayah and you do not know or nay. It's not like that. Rather, you do not honor the orphans, nor do you encourage the feeding of the poor. Here, Allah Azza wa Jal, He's saying, you do not encourage one another, and this is the benefit of knowing tahadun is form 6, because it usually means something happening back and forth between each other, like tawasaw bil haqqi, right? What tawasaw bil sabr. This is form 6, meaning that you encourage each other, not just from one party to the other, but one party to the other and the other party back to the first. So this is encouraging one another. And this is we get from form 6. You do not encourage the people to encourage one another to feed the poor. And he says, as a benefit, that the word ta'am al-miskeen, the way that it's brought here, ta'am al-miskeen, shows that basically, if we were to translate it, and you do not encourage one another to give the poor people their food, ta'am al-miskeen. This idafa shows possession. So the ta'am is the possession of the miskeen people, showing that the poor people have a right in the wealth of the rich, because you're giving them their food. You're not giving them your food. You're giving them their food. You're encouraging each other to give them their food because they have a right in your wealth. So this fact that Allah Azza wa Jal said it in this way, ta'am al-miskeen, shows that this is their wealth and that they have a right in your wealth with you from zakat and sadaqah and likewise zakat al-fitr and so on. Also together with the ayat before it, then it shows that the way that you deal with the orphan is not by necessarily giving to him. It could be perhaps that the orphan is wealthy and he does not need your money. Rather, he needs your kindness and your honor and your time and care. While the poor person needs, the main thing he would need is food. And this is how he is taken care of. And if the orphan is poor, then you must honor him due to his being an orphan, and you must feed him due to him being poor. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll continue tomorrow with ayat number 19. If there's any, we have some questions maybe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It says, may Allah reward you. Peace be upon all the messages. Ameen. Tayyib. Jazakallah. Okay. Ameen. Jazakallah khairan. Inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah reward you as well, and all of the listeners, and all those who intend to benefit, and all the Muslims who know or don't know about the channel, and who listen or don't listen. May Allah just forgive all the Muslims during this blessed month. Those Muslims, male and female, alive and passed away. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.